We now know what caused a very stinky problem in a Norfolk neighborhood over the weekend. City officials say a grease blockage clogged up a sewer, causing a manhole to overflow.
13 News Now reporter Megan Puryear tells us from Grimes Circle off of Norview Avenue.
If you were walking down the sidewalk on Norview Avenue on Sunday, you could have been splashed with more than just rainwater.
Grimes Court, raw sewage. My front yard coming out of a manhole cover, going into a storm drain, which then goes into the City of Norfolk drinking water.
Lake Whitehurst is part of the City of Norfolk drinking water reservoir system.
John Douglas is talking about the video he shot Sunday in his neighborhood. Video most people wouldn't expect to shoot.
Spews sewage when the sewer lines can't handle the influx of water.
The problem not limited to the spot in front of his home.
That is dumping into our cul-de-sac, main road out here, Norview Avenue.
Monday, we caught up with Kelsey Shepard, who lives at the top of the street.
Anytime anybody's ever walked by an open sewer and they've smelled, it's kind of like a rotten, eggy smell, and that's the hydrogen sulfide coming out of it.
Shepard spent 9 years working with sewage disposal on an aircraft carrier, so he knows the diseases sewage can carry. And that just a little can do a lot of harm.
You get splashed with it. And then it's on the vehicle, and it takes one drop. That's all it takes to have something go wrong with you.
In Norfolk, Megan Puryear, 13 News Now.